Hey everybody, Larry Lawton here. What a great video here. This is an Ask Me Anything. I love these videos because I have no idea what you guys are gonna ask, and I'm gonna tell it like it is, one way or the other. Before I get started, please check us out on YouTube, member programs, Patreon, all that kind of stuff. Check my book out, merch out, do all the stuff. If you like what you do, you see how I do things, please subscribe. That's all I can ask. Love the feedback, so please comment and keep commenting because you know I answer them. All right, let's get right to questions. I have a zillion questions here, and I see a lot of them, so I'm gonna read them out, and we're gonna go right down and start doing questions. I think this will be fun. If you had to serve 20 years in jail but could choose a continuous time period in life from age 16 to 90, which age periods would you choose and why? Wow. Great question. If I had to do 20 and the in between was 16 to 90, I would take 70 to 90. I just think your life's over anyway, and who gives a fuck? Listen, your greatest years, your teen years, your young adult years, you're the best money making, your best fucking, your best working body parts, everything. I think when you hit 70 to 90, you know, come on, how much do you really have left? So that was an easy one for me. You know, I know you got wisdom and all and you want to pass it on, but fuck that, man. I'll take fucking 16 to 70 any day if that's the exact periods I had to do. But it's a great question. I never thought of that. Here's one. Iskander the Great. How long did it usually take you to learn the entire layout of the prison of Atlanta, every single place? Just curious. Wow. You know, most prisons are a lot alike. It wouldn't take you long. Now, Atlanta was a different animal. And depending on where you worked in Atlanta, if you worked in Unicor, if you worked in the kitchen, if you worked on the yard, you worked at what they call CMS. Different areas, you know. Even to this day, I don't know certain areas of a prison. I know what's there, but I don't know every nick and crevice in Unicor. I never worked in Unicor. Unicor is prison industries. Now, I worked the East Yard in Atlanta. I worked the yard. I worked the law libraries. I know everything about those areas from, soup to nuts. And to get to know the layout is a good one. Everybody should know the layout. Most people do. So I think that's a good question, though. I really do. It was a great question. So I would say I wouldn't know all. Just like, I was on an aircraft carrier for a couple of weeks as cross training when I was in the Coast Guard. I didn't even know a fucking tenth of that ship because it's got 5,000 people on it. How much do you think you're gonna really know? And the ship's 1,000 feet long. So what the fuck you think you're gonna know? You're not gonna know much, that's for sure. Braden Saul, what would a warden Larry Lawton look like? As someone with a perspective of the other side, what inefficiencies, injustices would you try to fix? Great question. I wouldn't use the hole as a tool the way they do. I would not take a bonus for cutting programs or cutting food. I would give everybody the benefit of the doubt until they screwed up. I would treat my staff better than they treat bad. You see, I hear so many cases from guards saying how the warden is a scumbag and this. So I think they worry about more. I think wardens worry more about their next job than the job they have. And I think that's wrong. So I think that's a big thing. I mean, obviously, if I could change something above warden, I'd get rid of private prisons. But as a warden, I think that's the case I would do on that one. Good question, though. Have you ever tricked another inmate into going into the hole? For example, maybe telling an inmate to complain to the guards, only for him to get punished for it. No, I never did that. That was done to me when I was in USP Atlanta. I look back at it, it's kind of funny now, obviously, but at the time when I was getting carted off to the hole by Willie Scott, the warden, I'll never forget. I wouldn't do that. Now, let me emphasize that. What we have done is sent people to the hole on purpose with drugs, suitcased, and you know what that means. Suitcase is hiding something in your rectum, and it would be a bunch of drugs, and guys would go to the actual hole and make money in the hole and get out of debt. So that was done that way, but we would never trick somebody into going to the hole. I wouldn't do that. Obviously, they did that to me. It was a joke. I look back at it now. It was really pretty kind of funny, but it sucked being I think it was only in there a couple weeks. Do you have any hidden talents? No. I can't sing. I can't dance. Couldn't hold a note. Can't do artwork. I don't have any hidden talents, sadly, I do appreciate them. When I see people who can sing or dance, those people are just so talented. They're gifted, and they are. Wilson, this is his question. Does anyone think they should bring back hanging people that are murderers or child molesters? No, I don't believe in capital punishment. It's never been a deterrent and never will. People do things out of passion, out of impulse mostly, and I don't think it's going to stop anybody. And it's proven never to stop lower crime rate or anything like that. So no, I disagree with that. I'll get away from that question right there. Let's go another question. Was there ever a heist where you had to leave something, like a high value item, that you realistically should have probably gotten away with in hindsight? Is there really an item that I didn't take? No, I took what I wanted. Obviously, you guys know I took the clock and stuff like that extra. So no, I don't think there was an actual item, per se. Was another safe that I should have got into, or did I leave diamonds behind? No, it wasn't a timed robbery. I didn't do robberies for timing. I did robberies planned out, when to go, how to do them the right way. So it wasn't about that. So no, I don't think I ever did really leave something behind. A high value item, definitely. If it was in there, it was going to be getting, and that's what I did it for. That's why I did my robberies. Lat Odar, how do you think you would do if you went to prison again now, knowing you had a minimum of 10 years? And what has changed about prison since you were last there? How do I think I would do going back to prison? I don't know. I don't know if I'd go crazy or survive and become an alpha male, and knowing what I know everywhere I know it. I can go in, there's no question I can survive. That's easy for me. I think I'd be a different person, especially if I knew 10 years and I don't even think I'm getting out, or getting out alive or healthy. So I think that. What has changed about prison since you were last there? The things I do know that changed, they have email. They charge them like 5 cents for I don't know how many minutes or whatever it is on a computer, and it's only a screen to email a loved one stuff. So they didn't have any of that when I was there. All right, Enzo of Elba. Hey Larry, you were in the Coast Guard, if I remember right. Did you learn anything there that you used extensively or professionally after your services? Absolutely. I still to this day understand boating very well, the navigation, waterways. I got my boating certificate here off of an iPhone, doing it in my bed. My Teresa says, how do you do that? You just remember all that in your head? So those Coast Guard years, loyalty, obviously even knots to this day, I still remember some knots. Knots meaning tying a rope in a certain way. There's a lot I learned, more about boating and Coast Guard, and I love the Coast Guard. Don't get me twisted on that. I love it. Matter of fact, I'm a member of the National Museum, the plank owners, because I want to see that built. I learned a lot, and I hope it still stays that way. Okay, next question. I've been watching Life Without Parole, the A&E show about those who received his sentence for crimes committed as juveniles. Wondering if you did time with anyone who fit that criteria. If so, did you witness rehabilitation? What is your stance on being granted parole for juveniles? Wow, that's a great question, and I actually testify to this day in court on juveniles who get life sentences. The law changed about, I don't know how long now, 2007 maybe, 2008, something like that. The law changed where they had to give kids who had life sentences, they had to give them resentenced. They had to be resentenced. You had to have extenuating circumstances to give a kid a life sentence. First of all, I don't believe in a life sentence for juvenile. There are heinous crimes, and I get that, but I don't believe in it. And I have seen young people who did crimes at 16 and are totally rehabilitated. And I know of one person, I'll even name his name, you can look him up online, Curtis Schuler. What an amazing young man. I testified him, and the judge pissed me off, made him come back. I don't know if he got his rehearing and is he out now. I don't know. I would hope so. His name is Curtis Schuler. What a gentleman. He became an author and a music writer and just a dynamic young man. His case should have never got a life sentence. I don't believe in juveniles getting life. I really don't. Their brain isn't right to give them a life sentence. And I know what you people are saying, how heinous crime can be. You know, it's just hard for me to say that it's a cut and dry case. When a juvenile does something like that, it's not a cut and dry case. Now, there is consequences like everything, but no, I don't believe a person belongs in prison for life as a juvenile. Okay, have you ever sent a fellow inmate on a crazy quest, like get dirt on someone or steal from the guards? No. Do it yourself. I didn't have the power to tell somebody what to do, and in the penitentiary, you don't do that anyway. Unless he's your bitch, I guess. But no, I never did send an inmate on a crazy course, because if I wanted something, I'd get it myself. I didn't have to do that. And I don't believe in that, if you want to call it that. Do your own thing, man. Okay, was there a definite moment, event, that made you realize this ain't what I want for myself? I don't want to continue being a criminal. If so, what happened, and what was your first steps in becoming a reformed person? You know, defining moment, that's a great question. Like, or what made me shed? I guess that definite moment. I don't know. I guess when my buddy killed himself, that was a pretty powerful moment for me. And seeing young people come to prison, I didn't want to see them come again. I mean, they all come. Everybody's kids think they come in a badass. The minute they hit the compound, they're swallowed up like guppies in a fucking, shark pool. No, I don't know if there was a definite moment. I mean, the best one I could think of was when my buddy Jack died, and I heard the words, "I have plans for you." And I really heard those words. That's not some bullshit, oh, you're just fucking saying it, or oh, you really just, it was in your head. No, I heard fucking words out of my own fucking head, and believe me, I'm not kidding you. I have plans for you. And I got it. I was looking around like, what the fuck? And I guess my plans are not just YouTube, it's just education, helping people as much as I can. And that, I think that's becoming a reformed person. When you do a lot of time, you come out one or two ways. You come out all right, or you come out fucked up. And I think I'm a little bit of both. I still do. I really do. I think there's a part of me that's a little fucked up. And I don't mean that in a bad way. I mean, it is who I am. I went through a lot of trauma. And I don't harp on it. I don't complain about it. Life's going to go on, and it should go on, and everything goes with it. So, that's it. Do you think there are crimes so vile that rehabilitation wouldn't be the just thing to do? Like, it wouldn't be fair to the prosecutor of the prosecutor's family, murder, kidnapping, torture. Spazzo Hawk wrote this. No, rehabilitation is not so much just for that person. It's for everybody around that person. I think that helps. Unless you just want to put a person in a cage, in a fucking box, and just forget about them. I don't know how we can do that as human beings. Remember, we are different than animals, and we shouldn't treat things. I wouldn't put a dog in a cage like that, even if he bit somebody. I think rehabilitation should always be the first step. Now, maybe he's not rehabilitatable. That's one thing. But I think we need to put forth the effort, not just say punishment. Where do you stop with that thing? Then what do you do with punishment then? Do you say to somebody, okay, let's fucking beat him with a fucking bat? Let's break both his arms. Let's cut his hands off. I don't know where you stop when you just think of punishment. And I think there is punishment involved, and that's losing your family, losing your freedom, losing a lot of things. I don't think it should be the physical type that only, because, violence only begets violence. And we know that, and that's been proven. What made you happy in prison? Helping somebody, helping another guy get out, the law work, fighting the system made me the happiest. Knowing I had a purpose, and I think helping people, of course, besides jacking off. And I got busted for that. I know. I had to say that. Funny though. Adrian Anderson, how bad were the beatings when the guards came to the cell? How bad were the beatings? I was bruised up, fucking, sometimes piss and blood. They were bad. I mean, you cover up as much as you can, but you get a beating, and you got black eyes sometimes, or your jaw, they kick you right in the right way, and you can't move your jaw. Remember that? They kick your body, they try to do that, and they do. And you take a beating, so they're pretty bad. When they're coming in with a concussion grenade, or the fucking shocker, or a fucking mace, you can't fight. You could try, and I did. I broke my hand once on a helmet. There's not much you can do. It is not. Here, what was your most difficult robbery like? That's a question that. And what was your largest take score profit in a single robbery? Those I answered a lot of those questions. I don't know if there was any difficult per se. They were planned so well. I mean, I guess the one in Daytona where the cop was waiting out front, and we're waiting, or maybe the one in Palm Bay where the postman was going by, and I came out and made a good, cool move, saying, I'm waiting for him too, and he left. As far as money, $400,000 or $500,000 in my pocket was a pretty good take. So, I mean, that's pretty much ones I've actually did already myself. What is the most real vivid dream you've ever had? I have fucking real vivid dreams. Sometimes they're so bad. I have dreams about the kid who got his anus cut, and I hear the screams, and I'll get up screaming. They're real. They're real. You know, I wish my happy dreams were as real. You know, but I have some. I guess you can call them nightmares, and that's what they are, nightmares. And that's just something I you know, what can I do? What can you do? It's just, you really can't do anything. Okay, RW. How do you deal with knowing you will never see many of your friends again? That hurts me a lot sometimes. I wish I could share my achievements and life with the people I spent most of my adult life with. You know, I think you don't live for them. I know what you mean by sharing with people you love, but don't live for them. Make sure you're happy with your achievements and what you did and why you did it. And I hope it wasn't for them. You know, it's hard. You know, I lost a lot of friends and family and everything. It's not easy. But always remember, do it for yourself first, and if it makes somebody else happy, you're gonna be a lot better off for it anyway, and so will they. So, good question. If you could go back in time to change one thing other than stealing, what would it be? Big fan, keep up the great work. Wow. If I could change one thing, and other than the stealing, I don't know, other than the stealing, I guess be a better a spouse to my two ex-wives. I mean, I wouldn't have had two if I was a better for the first one. So, you know, because losing my kids was the worst thing that happened, so the stealing did that. That's why I'm not. But I would change being a better spouse to my exes. Of course, if I didn't steal, I wouldn't have, you know, that when you said stealing, you're going to go to prison. Of course, going to prison. But change the one thing, it would probably be that, because then I would have been with my kids. I probably wouldn't have did all the things I did, or maybe I would have. So it's hard for me to go about that and say there's one thing I would change. You know, I'm well-read, somewhat intelligent, I think. I think I'm a pretty good communicator, and I talk to people well. So that in that regard, I think that's probably about the best answer I can give on that. All right, Kate Nicholson. I envy your confidence in all of your endeavors. How can a gamer, even a little tiny bit of that for myself, where do I start in working towards a functional equivalent? Confidence. Confidence comes from within. It has nothing to do with going to work out in the gym. And I work out in the gym, and I see these hot guys with bodies and all this shit, and you look, and you know, I'm now a fat fuck, I guess, an old man, but I still got the confidence inside of knowledge of, I don't give a fuck what people think. It's amazing how people worry about, every day they worry about what everybody else thinks. I don't. I do most things for myself or family or whatever, or close friends, or you guys actually. But I think confidence comes from within, and you got to take that bold step. And you know what? When you realize that the most they could do is laugh at you or say fuck you, you're a jerk off or whatever, oh well, if that's the worst thing that can happen to me. And I think being down in time and being at the lowest of lows in life, that's a big thing too. So that's important. I think I answered enough for now. We're gonna keep them coming because I love these. I get some great questions. You know, any question is always answered, and it could be personal questions from my life to my kids to what I do out for fun or whatever. But you have a great day, everybody. I love these AMAs. Stay strong, stay safe. Thanks for being a member. Please make a good choice today and try to help somebody. I think you'll feel better about yourself as well. Have a great day, everybody. Stay strong.